Good day everyone. Today we shall be looking at subsidiary books. So on our topic, we shall be looking at meaning of subsidiary books and types of subsidiary books. So what does subsidiary book mean? Subsidiary book, otherwise known as books of original entry and prime entry, are the books in which transactions are recorded at their initial stage before posting into the ledger. That is the first point of entry, of all transactions before posting into the ledger. So that's that about the meaning of subsidiary books of accounts. Now let's look at the types of subsidiary books of accounts. We have sales day book, purchase day book, sales return, otherwise known as return invoice day book, purchases return, otherwise known as return outwards day book. Then proper journal, also called principal journal or journal proper. And also we have cash book as a subsidiary book of accounts. Now let's go to sales day book. Sales day book is the book of original entry or is the subsidiary book of accounts where transactions involving credit sales are recorded before posting into the ledger. So whenever an organization sells goods on credit to its customers, the first book of original entry such a transaction is posted into is the sales day book. It's worthy of note that goods sold on cash basis are not recorded in the sales day book. Also, the sale of fixed assets on credit is equally not recorded in the sales day book. Only transactions involving credit sales are recorded in this type of subsidiary book known as sales day book. Now the first book of original entry, the first book that they are recorded is the purchase day book. Now it's worthy of note that goods bought on cash basis are not recorded in the purchase day book. Also, the purchase of fixed assets on credit basis are not recorded in the purchase day book. Now the next one we are looking at is the sales return or return invoice day book. Return invoice day book or sales return day book are the book of original entry in which transaction involving goods that have been sold earlier on to the customers, later returned by the customers due to defects or damages are recorded. That is the goods that have been sold to customers who later return the goods back to the organization. The first book of original entry or the first book of accounts where they are recorded is a book of original entry known as the sales return or return invoice day book. Now the next one is purchase return book or return outwards day book. Return outwards day book or purchase return book are books of original entry in which goods that have been bought from creditors earlier on, that have been bought from suppliers earlier on, and which are later returned back to the suppliers due to defects or damages. The book where such transactions are recorded is the purchase return day book or return outwards day book. Now the next type of subsidiary book we are looking at is the proper journal. Proper journal is a book of original entry in which all transactions that cannot fit in to the sales day book, purchase day book, cash sales return, purchase return and cash book that cannot fit into them, that are not recorded or posted into, are recorded before posting into the ledger. Such transactions are sale of fixed assets on credit purchase of fixed asset on credit, transfer between accounts, when bad debt is written off, and correction of errors and so on and so forth are recorded before they are posted into the ledger. The last one we are looking at is the cash book. Cash book is original entry or subsidiary book of account or prime entry, as well as a principal book of account, because it is the first point, is the first book of original entry where transaction involving cash are recorded, that is where cash transactions are recorded, and is equally called the principal book of accounts because it is the final destination of cash transactions. And it is worthy of note that in the case of cash book, unlike other books of accounts, double entry principle is applied. So that is why it performs the function of a ledger, which happens to be a principal book of an account. Thank you and God bless you. Have a great day.